So I'm going to get started on the insulation today. Just going to do the back doors because I have some electrical wires to run before I insulate the rest of the van. But I'm going to start with this stuff. It's called Noiko. There's a lot of other similar products. Fat Mat, Rattle Trap. This stuff, like an asphalt 10 layer, it just helps dampen panels so they don't sound quite so tinny. And the manufacturer of this stuff recommends about 25% panel coverage, so you don't have to cover every single panel. In fact, I don't think it's a good idea to do it because this stuff is really heavy. It's going to add a lot of weight to the vehicle. So I'm going to clean up the panels. I'm going to attach this stuff directly to the panel. It's got adhesive on the back. I'm going to use a little roller and roll it against the surface. And then my next layer of insulation, I'm going to use Thinsulate, which is a 3M product. It's meant for automobiles. It's pretty lightweight. It's a pretty decent R value. The only thing is it doesn't absorb water and it doesn't off-gas toxic chemicals. So I'm going to be stuffing that into the walls. I'm going to start by using denatured alcohol, cleaning up the metal so that this product is something to stick to. I'll roll it in place and then I'll start cutting the Thinsulate. So that's the plan for today.
Everything changes.
There's nothing scientific to what I did. I simply put a few panels in places where there were large pieces of sheet metal that didn't have any. This is, you can tell this is a factory one here. And I just tried to get a little bit of coverage on some of these large panels. I also tried to put them near hinges and latches so that when you shut the door, maybe it'll sound a little more solid. I don't know, I'm not sure. Put some strips in here. Here's a factory strip. I tucked some back up in there. A little here in the bottom of the door. I think it makes a difference already. Panel sounds pretty solid, whereas this door, which I haven't done, sounds pretty tinny. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but let's try closing the door, see if you can hear a difference. There's definitely a difference. That door sounds way more solid. Alright, so for those panels, I used about a little less than a full sheet of Noiko. So I weighed the sheet and it's just over 3 pounds. So that means I'm really only adding about 1.5 pounds to each door. Plus I still have to do the Thinsulate, but it'd be really easy to go overboard and get the thing really heavy pretty quick.
Life.
All right, I used up most of the sheet of the Noiko. There's just that left. So I've got somewhere just under 3 pounds of insulation in the doors. This door, they ended up in different places in the other door. So it's shaped different. Did put a piece back in there. I don't know that these small pieces do much of anything, but why not? It was already there. So let's hear how the door sounds now. Sounds way more solid versus that. This stuff makes a big difference. Sounds a lot better. Can't stop opening and closing the doors now. Alright, time to move on to the Thinsulate. I've gone ahead and pre-cut the Thinsulate to fit in these spaces. Some spaces, like down here, there's no need to glue it in place because it has nowhere to go. The other thing is we've been having a lot of rain lately, and I've been watching to make sure that there's not water collecting in the bottoms of these doors. It's been dry, but I do have some insulation sitting pretty low in here. I don't want to glue it in place because I'm going to just kind of keep further eye on it and make sure it doesn't get wet. Otherwise, I may pull this bottommost piece out. There is another channel that's down lower here. Drain holes are down here. The insulation doesn't go down that far, so I feel pretty comfortable putting a piece in there now that I'll be watching it. So I won't glue this one. This one is sitting in here pretty loose, so I'll go ahead and spray some 3M90 on the van and also on this white side and glue it in place. It's not flopping around in there. So I'll leave this. I'll glue this one. Glue this, glue this, glue this, and I've also set some in place up top, but I'm going to let that float for now. I'm going to be putting some speakers and lights up there. I have to be able to run wiring through here, so I'm not going to disturb that too much right now, but there will be insulation up there. I was also able to stuff a piece down in here. I'm not going to glue it, it's just floating in there, it has no place to go, so I feel like I've done a fair job of trying to stuff insulation in as many holes as I can. There's so much glass that you're going to lose a lot of heat through the glass anyway, so I think what we've done here is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these 4 pieces and get them in there. Okay, it's not perfect, but some of these spaces are so tight, you can only do what you can do. The challenge with spaces like this is that this piece of insulation slid up to about right here, and I can't find a way to glue it. You can't slide it with glue, so I glued it here where I could get to it, and it's not like this piece here can go anywhere. This stuff's all glued. There's a latch down in there that moves, so you want to stay clear. Things like that. So I'm missing a little insulation around the latch, but I don't want it to cause problems later. Be out on a trip and not be able to open the door. So all these I didn't glue, maybe just a little bit at the bottom. This one I glued in places. And again up top. I'm going to let it float for now until I get the wiring in there. So that's it, that's the back doors. That took a while. Next project over the next coming couple of months, I've got a diesel heater to install, got a seat to put in here. That's going to require some welding and some fab work to tie it into the frame for safety's sake. And then I'm going to do the same process that I used here on the doors, I'll use for the walls and the ceiling, but it should be much easier because there isn't a bunch of latches to work around and moving parts, so that should go pretty quickly. So that's it for now.